talking a lot about how you started and what kind of engagements you have been through. But I just cut to today, which is, the current times that we are in. A lot of things have changed. Like we have a lot of internet penetration in general, like even for individuals, and then for companies, we have seen the COVID days and others where, companies went completely remote, employees were working remotely, and now they are back on their feet. They've started coming back to offices, but the network boundaries have blurred completely. We still don't know. A lot of companies are in hybrid mode, and organizations, people are working from anywhere. They have multiple devices that they work with. So physical security, the definition itself is also changing through all of these times. So in the recent times, have you been on any place where, suddenly you realize that, hey, a lot has changed, or the ways of working in the way you used to work earlier will need to change, or it will need to adapt with the new tech, the new equipments which are there? Because there's, even with physical security, you have a lot more monitoring going on, a lot more, for example, sensing. So there are motion sensors, there are a lot of other things that people are employing. There are way more configurations that might have been enabled. So what does it look like today for you?
I don't know yet, to be honest. I'm supposed to be robbing a bank in July, and that'll be my first physical engagement that I've done for a client in about like 2 or 3 years. It's like it's been yeah, exactly. Because there's the pandemic, the apocalypse was hard on on-site visits and stuff, because it's like, frankly, there were some people that were willing to risk it. Not me. I'm like, no, I'm not doing on-site engagements. It's like I had several offers of like, would you like to come on site? I said, no, I'm sorry, not when people are dropping like flies everywhere around me. I don't think so. So now it's like it's gotten a little bit different, and it's like, and so um, my first thing, I've done some vishing attacks. I've done some phishing attacks. It's like, and those have been quite successful. But to go and actually do on-site, yeah, it's been a while. We're going to see how it works out. Am I thinking it's going to be any different than any of the others? No. It's like we all expect things to be different. We all expect things that are like, oh, it's going to be so different now. Or no, it's not. It's human nature. We
Yeah.
do not realize how much of human nature is bound into what we do. No one really thinks about it. And I don't understand. Since I was little, it was a survival instinct to try to understand how humans operate. I do not operate the same way normal people operate. I don't think the same way. I don't do things the same way. I don't look at things the same way. So I had to study for my own survival how the population, the majority of the population, operate to survive. So I became a student of that. And I'm like, and people say, it's like, well, I bet you it'll be very different to rob people in this country because we do these things. Like, no, it won't. It's like, well, oh yeah, I talked about how you robbed in this, but this country, we're so no, you're not. It's like it's all the same. I don't care if you're in Delhi, Mumbai, Goa, Boston, Beijing, Rio. It's like Toronto. It doesn't matter. It's people, human nature. I've robbed people on 5 continents, not because I understand all their different cultures or how they operate in their languages. Nope. I know people. I understand how humans operate and how human nature is. And that's me good a job.
Yeah, I think how much ever we talk about zero trust in technology and networks and so many other places, I think with humans, the level of trust and the instincts in the way they respond to situations more or less always remains the same. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And also just it's not even about trust, it's just inattention, it's just feeling secure, so therefore having your guard down.
Yeah, yeah. But you were talking about wishing and phishing that you've been doing recently. Many times we would have these phishing engagements that we do, and many companies do that very regularly, maybe annually, or they have their own cycles. The phishing drills that they do often end up teaching many individuals who might have fallen for the fish and things like that. Do you think phishing drills, like it's a candid question, but does it work in your experience?
If it's done properly, I think that's one of the biggest problems we have in our industry is that we think phishing testing exercises have not that are not there to actually teach employees what to look out for. They're there is just like, oh, we had to do a test. Okay, blah blah. This many people failed. Okay, it's like we need to get better at making more memorable phishing attacks so people can go and stop and say, oh wow, okay, that was bad. It's like, oh, I didn't even think of it that way. Like I literally robbed a bank in April with the eclipse. I robbed a bank with a solar eclipse, and I did it through a phishing email.
Okay, that's quite interesting. Was it a was it the pretext of the phishing email, or?
Was the fact that there was such a huge amount of buzz in the United States about the solar eclipse. You know,
Okay.
everybody's going crazy about the solar eclipse. And especially in certain states, there's like 4 or 5 states where the solar eclipse was going to be total solar eclipse.
Okay.
But that also meant that it was going to go through very small towns that weren't used to having tourists. And so they were going even worse. They were like, there was the bank that we were robbing was in a state, one of the flyover states where the total eclipse was going to occur, and literally had the mayor in the news saying, y'all need 2 weeks worth of gas. It's like, make sure you have all your prescription medicine. Make sure you have at least 2 weeks of food supplies. Hide your wife, hide your kids. They all coming to see the sun. It's like, I mean, it was hilarious
Overexcited
how
about
they
the.
responded. Exactly. And so, and since the headquarters was in this town, I was like, I sent out an email and it said, um, it was coming from a marketing company that doesn't exist, but it was like as behest of the CEO of the company with their name in it, was saying something to the effect of, we're starting a new advertisement campaign starting April 2nd titled Nothing Eclipses Blah Blah Bank. And on this new page, we're going to have the solar eclipse map that's going to happen on April 12th. It's like we're going to have the and all these new benefits that will happen at the solar eclipse that we're going to give our customers. It's like our new customers and our old customers. Uh, if they do this, if they go to the website during the solar eclipse and they see this, they'll be able to, like, you know, do all this. It's like all these different kinds of things. It's like, and so and the C and this from the CEO saying, like, you don't have to go to this website, but before we launch it, if you would like to look at it and see what it is and see how it works, feel free to log in. It's private right now, and we don't want
Awesome.
this released to the public yet. So, and because it was private, as soon as they clicked the link, it went to a Microsoft Authenticator login page, which our team was controlling. It's like, and they had to log in with their network login. But notice the key thing that I did in that fish, and this is one of the things that I think a lot of companies fail at, is that I did not use an emotional trigger. I told the
Hmm.
employees they didn't have to go to the site if they didn't want to. It wasn't going to impact their job in one way or the other. They weren't going to get a reward one way or the other. Just, hey, if you're curious, click the link. And I didn't tell them to click the link. I just said, here's the site if you would like to look at it. I didn't tell them that they had to. That's very important, because if you use an emotional trigger to get your employees for the test, then you are the one that failed the test, because now your employees are going to be upset that they clicked the link instead of trying to learn the lesson of like not being too curious. They're just learned that you're a jerk. There's been companies that said that, oh, we're giving you these $1,000 bonus. It's like for everybody, if you click here and register. I would like, if my company did that to me and told me that there was a bonus and then it turned out to be a test, I may have not have been an insider threat before, but I definitely am now. It's like, I'm definitely going to click on all the links. I'm definitely going to find a way to screw you over, because now I'm angry. It's like, you promised me money and then you're going, psych, you failed. Oh no, it don't work out that way. It's like, so when I do demonstrations of phishing attacks for employees, I make them horrible. I make them all kinds of emotional triggers. But if I'm actually sending a phishing attack to an employee, there are zero emotional triggers in that email.
I think that takes a little bit of, so this is a very nuanced thing that you're talking about, Jason. It also
Yes.
takes a little bit of an expertise. I think many people who are starting new would fall back on emotional triggers, urgency, or something of that sort.
Yep.
But to be able to craft a pretext, which you're talking about, definitely takes a level of expertise, but also understanding the context, the mindset of the people. And everything is so beautifully tied together in a mail where you are not even asking for anything. You're basically maybe working on, which is very prevalent these days, particularly for the current generation, is the fear of missing out on things. Maybe there are other employees who would
Yes.
sign up for it, and let me just sign up. So which does not require too much pushing, but just
Right.
creating that feeling of, I want to belong to a certain context.
I want to see. I want to see what everybody else is looking at. I want to see what the new thing
Exactly.
is. And it is nuanced, but and that's one of the things I think that we're missing in information security, is that we're missing the nuance. We're looking at patterns and we're looking at how to the scalability, but we're not keeping in mind that we're not auditing servers who don't have feelings. We're auditing people and our fellow coworkers who do. And a server is not going to get upset if you use a 0-day on them and compromise their system, or if you use MSO 867 and get in. They're not going to be upset with that because they're a computer. But people get upset when you show them that they made a mistake. And that's part of our job, is showing others how the mistakes happened. Your part of your job is to make sure they learn the lesson and not just the resentment from it. And that's one of the things I think that we fell out a lot. I mean, literally, I'm giving a class at Black Hat and another one at DEF CON on how to talk to people and how to make this a positive experience.
Oh, this is amazing. So, we are actually nearing towards the end of the episode. But generally, I have this. So we ask one thing which is slightly in the future. It is actually not in the future also.